from Hell on X96. Follow us on Twitter at Radio from Hell.
Sponsored, Gina?
Yes, need your coffee? Want a fresh bag? Get Campos coffee beans delivered to your door within 2 days of roasting. Pretty cool, huh? Visit coffee.com for details.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now that is handy.
Yeah.
'Cause that's some good coffee.
Yeah. Here he is, Bill Frost, to talk about the TV. He's going to tell you what's coming up, what's on. Bill is also the host or co-host of the TV Tan podcast, and also in a band called Magna Vega. And you can get all of that Bill Frost goodness at billfrost.tv.
Totally.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever mentioned this show. I just happened to read about it in New York Magazine. The Kingdom on Netflix.
The Kingdom.
It's a Korean series. There are 6 episodes, and I think there's a second episode or second series, season of it coming up.
Yeah, with Netflix, it's entirely possible a dozen things get by me every week.
Yeah, I mean,
it's quantity.
Yeah, it's just so it's this, but it's a Korean zombie show.
Okay, I have heard of this.
And,
yes.
and it's like in medieval Korea. And what's fascinating about it?
Historical zombies?
Yeah, and it's all in, they're all wearing period costumes, and, there's big hats that these Korean guys would wear. And
I don't know anything about that.
yes, you do. And but what's fascinating about this show, The Kingdom? I just watched the first episode. Think of all the zombie shows that you see. It starts with the little people. You just start with people in just your neighbors, and it's people in your neighborhood, people turn into zombies.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn into zombies, and then more and more people become zombies.
Right.
And this is interesting because it starts from the top down. What you see first is the emperor has become a zombie, and they're trying to hide it from everybody.
Oh.
And the whole court is trying to hide it from people, and they feed him. But he's the emperor. You can't just. And it's very interesting to see how it affects society when you look at people turning into zombies from the hierarchies of society. Anyway, It's called The Kingdom.
Cool.
Kind of a fascinating show.
What do we got?
Today, you've heard about this, The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele, producing, hosting, narrating on CBS All Access.
Now, have you seen
I had
any?
you up until there, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen any?
I have not, no.
You can watch one episode right now
Where?
They'll let you have one.
for free on YouTube.
Which one,
It's The Comedian.
The first one's free? Is that what you're saying?
Like a drug dealer. The first one is free. Yeah, if you go to YouTube right now and access, you just look up The Twilight Zone, The Comedian, and it's there. Now it's rated R. Just know that.
They didn't censor it for YouTube?
Nope.
I'm gonna. I'll check it out. I did happen to read a review of someone, I forget who it was, who'd seen the first 4 episodes and did not care for it.
Really?
Oh, really?
Said, "Oops, not so good."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
That's just one review.
Yeah. Also, season 5 of Escaping Polygamy on Lifetime tonight.
Oh, really?
They're still escaping polygamy.
Okay. Someday you'll get out. I doubt it.
Tomorrow, Kevin Hart has a new stand-up special on Netflix, Irresponsible, about him talking about him being irresponsible, owning up to it finally.
Kevin Hart apology tour.
Yeah, and also season 2 of The Last OG with Tracy Morgan. A very funny show. You
I
might.
was just saying, I hear good things about it.
Tiffany
He was
Haddish
in-
is also in it.
He was in prison and was there for a while and got out, and things have changed.
Things have changed in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah. And Wednesday, season 3 of Brockmire.
It is. It's coming back.
IFC, yes.
It's pretty funny.
Hank Azaria, baseball announcer, who always sounds like a baseball announcer.
Even in his daily life.
That's right.
And coming up on Thursday, season 2 of Cloak and Dagger, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger on the
Yes.
Freeform.
Which I was pretty surprised by the first season. I mean, I didn't expect to like it or be that good.
You didn't think it was for you?
I didn't think it was going to be for me, but it was both.
Cool. Also, Friday, Netflix, Sabrina, season 2.
Oh,
The
already?
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Now, I really liked that show.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Not to be confused with that other one. With
Go to your room,
the talking
Sally.
cat. Well, the fatter talking cat. Nick Bakay cat.
Confused.
And Brie Larson, Captain Marvel.
Yes.
She made a movie. It's called The Unicorn Store, and Samuel L. Jackson is in it.
Oh, she directed it, right?
Yes, and she stars in it as well.
Oh.
And it's on TV?
It is on the Netflix.
Hmm.
So if you want to see them, Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson interacting again in a completely different fashion.
Oh. Well, I like their buddy cop chemistry
Yeah.
that they have
Yeah.
in Captain
They
Marvel.
do well together. And season 2 of The Tick on Prime Video Friday.
Yes.
How you liking the new Tick?
I enjoy it. I would like to, I know because of rights issues, they're not allowed to use some of the original villains and all that. They have to
Did they get
create their own.
Apocalypse Cow?
I don't know if they have
Apocalypse Cow?
I don't think they have Apocalypse Cow. They did have the big naked guy.
Okay.
But my favorite Tick villain is, of course, Chairface Chippendale.
Better than Apocalypse Cow?
Chairface Chippendale just wanted to write his name on the moon.
That was his whole.
That was his whole thing. So he created a giant laser so he could do that, and he got as far as CHA. So for the rest of the time in the Tick comics and cartoons, anytime there was a shot of the moon, you'd see CHA on.
You might as well let him finish at that point.
Right.
Saturday Night Live, hosted by Kit Harington, Jon Snow,
Oh, really?
and
Oh, he knows nothing.
and musical guest Sarah Bareilles.
Okay.
And Sunday, we've been waiting for this, Killing Eve, season 2
Oh, that's why Sandra Oh was on last week.
on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife decided, I think I better watch this Killing Eve. Everybody's talking about this Killing Eve. And so she goes to find season 1, and she can't find it for free anywhere.
You have the Hulu?
We don't have the Hulu.
Well, yeah, that's where it is right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was really good. I'm wondering if they can kind of make it good for a second season.
If they can top it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is your week there. And I'm sure there's some things I missed because Netflix.
There's
Because
too
Netflix.
much. There's too much stuff.
There is.
I'm doing what I can.
There's
here.
too many shows. I'm going to go home today and watch season finale of Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one
That's
yet.
that's the season finally.
Winter finally arrived.
Winter did arrive.
We've never seen it
Wait, that's-
wintry on The Walking Dead.
Wait, that's Game of Thrones, right? No?
It's in
That's
the
a
comics.
different- Oh, winter happens in...
Yeah, in the comics they had winter.
We've had how many years of Walking Dead and no
and we've
winter?
never had a winter.
Well, it's in Georgia, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be in.
Where are they at now?
I don't even remember anymore.
It's in the South. I
Yeah.
want to say Tennessee or something like that.
Well, you don't get a lot of winter there usually.
Not usually. So yeah, I'm curious as to what's going on, how they explain that. They need to explain why Saturday Night Live was not funny this week.
and it wasn't Sandra Oh's
not
fault?
Sandra Oh's fault.
She did the best she could.
In the
Now, they
sketches
had-
the sketches
but it
that
was-
she was in, she was giving her all, but there was just some bad writing.
But it was a good news week. You had the college scandal, and you had... No?
They blew all of it. They blew all of it. There was the filmed stuff was funny, but the stuff that was live, they just dropped the ball on all that stuff. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Bill Frost.
All right, you can find all his stuff at billfrost.tv.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Crash northbound I-15 33rd South in Salt Lake. Crash westbound I-80 at 32nd West off to the left shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 Main Street on-ramp in Lehigh, right shoulder being affected there. And crash eastbound I-215 13th West in Salt Lake. It's the Big O Tires Spring Super Sale. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th free now through April 21st. Plus get up to $120 off Big O brand tires now through April 7th. Offers valid on select sets of tires. See dealer for full details.
Killing Eve Season 1 Marathon on AMC on Sunday.
They'll show all of them back to back.
There you go.
So you can be ready for
Put
it.
that DVR.
And Walking Dead takes place in North Carolina.
Oh.
All right.
All right, we've got Boners Round 2 coming up. Here are the candidates. Boner candidate number 1. How many Mexican countries are there? Boner candidate number 2. Well, I was making sure that it was a milkshake and not a malt. And boner candidate number 3. Hey, why don't you just stick to space and electric cars, Elon?
All right, so we got round 2, your boners, big boy news, opinioendo, all coming up. Stand by for that. 3, 2, 1. Hoops Vision Correction.
You know, I have an astigmatism.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in my eyesight, it's and I don't know, it's an irregularity of the cornea. I think that's so you can be nearsighted or farsighted, then you can have an astigmatism, which further complicates things. And it used to be that you could not get LASIK if you had an astigmatism, and people will still tell you that to today. Oh, you have an astigmatism? Oh, you can't get LASIK. Not true. Talk to them at Hoops Vision. You could get rid of your glasses and contact lenses. LASIK is an option even if you have an astigmatism. LASIK can correct mild to moderate astigmatism as well as nearsightedness and farsightedness. They are your world-class leader in vision correction. So call them and make an appointment. I've done it. Carrie's done it.
I love it.
Yeah, call 877-30-LASIK, that's LASIK, or visit their website. It's hoopsvision.com. Find out about how you can get your eyes fixed and get rid of your glasses and contact lenses forever.
I hate X96. I can ride the wildest bronco in the wild and woolly west. I can take him, I can break him, let him do his level best. I can handle any cattle, ever wore a coat of hair. Hell, I've even had to tussle with a mean old grizzly bear. But there's one thing I can't handle. It nearly makes me sick. I gotta listen to that god-awful music just to hear my poems on X96. Oh, it's nice of Carrie and Bill to play my poems on the radio. But God, that music they put on about makes my lunch chunks blow. Who are these violent femmes? Their songs just make me sick. And then there's that Morrissey, a whining limey prick. When that 9-inch nails feller sings closer, it makes me feel mighty mean. And them two cute boys from Eraser are the biggest sissies I've ever seen. Give me country music from Bocephus, from Merle, and from Willie. I don't want no caterwauling from The Cure, or bands with names that are downright silly, like Hoodoo Gurus, Gene Loves Jezebel, Weezer, and Ween, and MC 900-Foot Jesus. Jesus, what the hell does that mean? I wish I could do my cowboy poems on a station with good old boys what plays country tunes, instead of that X96 with its long-haired, earring-wearing, sissified, sushi-eating, devil-worshipping goons. There is one good thing about X96. Heed my words if you wanna. At least them immoral bastards don't play them skank hooer songs by Madonna. I'm Conway Skinner.
X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 8:20 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting in order to become boner of the day. That's all decided at 9:20. That's when boner fight happens. Right now, you're picking the champion for round 2, so think carefully. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
One of the new Fresh Fave box meals from Del Taco, unbeatable price of $4, $5, or $6.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Well, how many Mexican countries are there? I can describe this to you. If you go to x96.com/live, you'll see it. An actual banner from Fox and Friends Weekend, 6:30 in the morning. You know, and the 3 hosts are sitting there, and then they put a banner underneath that
Cry on.
yeah, and it's a headline, I guess, is what they're talking about. And it says, Trump cuts U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries.
Only 3 Mexican countries. What about the other Mexican countries?
There's one Mexican country.
Really?
Yeah, there's Mexico.
Mexico. That's the only one.
That's the Mexican country.
Because this is their attitude that everything down there is Mexico.
Or they're all just Mexicans.
They're all Mexicans.
Yeah.
I think
Our southern border
People-
south,
yeah.
it's all Mexico.
It's to them, people don't speak Spanish, they speak Mexican.
now I believe it was Guatemala,
Honduras?
and I forget the other one.
Colombia?
Colombia or
I don't
Venezuela?
know. Anyway, that Trump cut aid to those countries,
South American countries.
South American countries, not Mexican countries. The geniuses at Fox, though, Trump cuts U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries.
It reminds me of Sarah Palin thinking Africa was a country. It's the same
Boner.
kind of thing.
Boner candidate number 1.
Your prejudice is showing.
Africa. Yeah, that country
The
of
country
Africa.
of Africa.
Well, our president would just refer to them all as S-hole countries
that's
anyway. So.
Yeah. Here's boner candidate number 2. Well, I was just making sure it was a milkshake and not a malt. You see, I know that they ordered a milkshake. This is a shocked California family who looked at, so they asked for a food delivery from DoorDash.
Yeah.
And so the DoorDash deliverer comes, and they see on their camera, they have a camera on their bell. They catch a sight of him taking a sip of a milkshake or a malt or whatever it is that he's brought to deliver to them.
Nope.
Oh,
This is why I won't use those services.
This is so Gina.
That is why I
family-
will not.
The family didn't realize the disturbing incident took place until the next day when they viewed surveillance from a doorbell camera. They say that their 14-year-old son had already drank the milkshake but didn't get sick or anything. I looked at it and said, hey, that guy who delivered the food was sipping out of my son's Cold Stone milkshake, homeowner Ragesh Maratha said. The family claimed that they reported the incident to DoorDash, but 2 weeks later had not heard back. Now the family says all they want from DoorDash is an apology and for their staff to receive better training. Taking a sip out of the food, eating a few fries out of the bag, Well, listen, I was just making sure that it was a milkshake and not a malt.
Nope.
Because the customer would be very upset if it was a malt.
He really said that?
No, he didn't
Oh,
say
okay,
that.
all right.
No. I mean, I'm trying to think what could he possibly say?
I think that he was just thinking they wouldn't notice.
Yeah. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, and I hope you can grab this audio, Carrie. Stick to space and electric cars, Elon.
I will look.
I can get it to you.
He's crazy, isn't he?
I think. But wait till you hear it. It's just
I haven't
wonderful.
heard it.
I haven't
so.
heard it. Is there?
It's there's nothing dirty in it.
Okay.
It's just bizarre. All right. So
News brought to you by
They have over 1,000 used vehicles in inventory, 6 locations: Orem, Sandy, Murray, Ogden, 90th South, plus trucks and imports located in Sandy, or lhmusedcars.com.
And it's Central American countries, not South American countries.
Yeah, Colombia or Honduras and
Yeah.
Guatemala
Yeah.
would be Central America.
Yeah. Point is they're not Mexico.
Law and Order SVU, with its star Mariska Hargitay. It has cemented its place in television history. NBC has renewed Dick Wolf's series for a record-setting 21st season, making it TV's longest-running primetime live-action series, surpassing the previous mark of 20 seasons set by Law and Order, just the original Law and Order, 1990 to 2010, and Gunsmoke was the other one that had gone 20 seasons on TV. The police procedural may not be done rewriting TV record books because season 21 is not envisioned as the final chapter. He plans on making more, and it's still pretty popular. It's a network show, and people still watch the hell out of it.
I mean, ripped from today's headlines means there's always new storylines. That they don't run out of storylines. There's always something.
Hargitay's Lieutenant Benson, that's the character she plays, is the longest-running character in a primetime live-action series.
Really?
Hargitay surpassed Gunsmoke's James Arness and Milburn Stone as
Doc
and Matt Dillon and Doc, as well as Kelsey Grammer, who've all portrayed the same character for 20 consecutive seasons. I guess on Cheers and then on to his own own show.
On to Frasier. And he's trying to bring Frasier back.
Is he?
Yeah.
Was a very well liked show, and they quit when they were ahead. I mean, they were still popular when they stopped doing it. So anyway, all kinds of records for SVU, a show which I think I've seen once, maybe. I used to kind of like Law and Order, the old one with.
It's when it's on. Like if I happen upon it, I never go out of my way to watch it. But it always happens to be on.
Yeah.
So.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, for the first time on Sunday, reacted to allegations that he made a Nevada politician feel uneasy in 2014 when he kissed her on the back of her head, saying he never believed he acted inappropriately. In my many years on the campaign trail and in public life, I have offered countless handshakes, hugs, expressions of affection, support, and comfort, Biden said in a statement, and not once ever did I believe I acted inappropriately. If it is suggested I did so, I will listen respectfully, but it was never my intention. The statement was the first response to the allegations directly from the former vice president. Previously, there had only been statements from his spokespeople. Lucy Flores, the former Democratic nominee for lieutenant governor of Nevada, made the allegations against Biden on Friday in an essay for The Cut, which is part of New York Magazine, writing that Biden made her feel uneasy, gross, and confused in 2014 when at a campaign rally in Nevada, she said he kissed her on the back of her head. Flores said on CNN's State of the Union Sunday morning that Biden's new statement Sunday morning was certainly better than the initial response from Biden spokesman Bill Russo. The initial statement from Russo said, "Neither then nor in the years since did Biden or the staff with him at the time have an inkling that Ms. Flores had been at any time uncomfortable, nor do they recall what she describes." But Vice President Biden believes that Ms. Flores has every right to share her own recollection and reflections, and that it is a change for better in our society, that she has the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, the pictures are pretty uncomfortable looking.
Yeah. Now, there was also another picture of Biden putting his hands on the shoulders of and whispering in the ear of the wife of a guy who was what was he going to be, Attorney General in the Obama administration, I think. Yeah. And she has said in that photo, she said there was nothing, it looked kind of creepy, but the woman in that photo, she said, actually it was not inappropriate at all. Joe Biden and I have known each other for a long time. I was really nervous that day as my husband was getting sworn in, and he could see that I was really nervous, and he came over and just put his hands on my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, everything's fine. You're doing fine here." She said he just calmed me down. So there was nothing to that particular incident, she said. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. On Wednesday, We Wear Pink beer is now available in Utah. Jackie King, the head brewer at Roosters on 25th Street in Ogden, said she loved how the pink beer turned out.
Pink beer.
It's perfect for this time of year, the spring, she said. It's an easy drinking beer, and it is pink. Super pink. King and numerous other female brewers from across Utah gathered in early March to make On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. It's a cold session India Pale Ale, dyed pink with addition of hibiscus. So that's the name of the brew. On Wednesdays,
but it is actually pink.
On
color.
Wednesdays, we wear pink, and it is pink in color, apparently. King and other brewers who helped make the beer possible spent March 26th and 27th kegging and canning the beer for consumption in the back of Rooster's brewery, large cage full of empty cans and fed into a spiral slide. Those cans filled. I'd like to see it. I can't imagine a beer. I guess it could have a pink tinge.
I'd like to see it. Try it.
What's it called? What's it called again?
It's called On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. Apparently, some other brewers are involved with it. Jamie Burnham of Ketos Brewery is in the chapter of Utah's Pink Boot Society. It was her job to put the labels on the cans. And, yeah. So,
well, someone needs to get us some.
We'll have to try it.
Yeah, it's just slightly pink. It's just...
There's a little tinge.
Yeah.
A pink tinge.
It's actually pretty.
All right.
Let's see.
One more story.
One more?
Yeah.
Well, apparently a lot of you are not doing it right, but a new survey from drugabuse.com has found that only 23% of Americans are using narcotics or alcohol at work. Only 23% of you.
That's a perfect place to use it,
can,
isn't it?
yeah, we can bump that up if more of you would just try harder. No, there's a survey that found that 60% of Americans admitted to drinking at work. 20% use marijuana at work.
Really?
And more than 10% admitted to using opioids. 70% of people who have a drug and alcohol problem are employed, said Brian McAllister, CEO of Addiction Recovery Systems. These people are in your workplace. Addiction is a 24/7 disease. It doesn't take the afternoon off, and it doesn't go on lunch break. Experts say that the substance abuse by employees can cost a company a lot of money. It is a drain on health care, and it's a drain on productivity, and workplace violence and sexual harassment is because they are high either on alcohol or opiates or some other mind-altering substances. But I guarantee you that if you work with someone who is an alcoholic and is a professional at it, you don't know.
You think?
Yeah, you don't know. And they maybe even drink at work, and you don't know. You just don't. You can't tell.
Is he challenging us, Kerry?
No, I'm not.
He's challenging us.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You never know.
You never know.
There are people who are really good at managing their disease, their alcoholism, and they work for years, and you know, people around them don't really realize what's going on. All right, that's it.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Okay, so you got your Final Four, and most people didn't have this Final Four.
Oh?
I did this. A lot of weird things happened. So it's Auburn and Virginia. They play Saturday at 4 o'clock, and then Texas Tech and Michigan State.
What happened to Gonzaga?
I know. The Bulldogs are out. The Duke is out. Everyone that you thought was supposed to... Well, maybe Virginia. People thought Virginia would be there. But so, yeah, there's your Final Four.
So when does this get over?
That's it. Well, so that's Saturday, and then you have the championship.
Then the
And
championship.
so we're almost done, Kerry.
Is the championship one game, or is it a series
Yeah,
of
no,
games?
it's just one. It's
Okay.
just one and done.
All right.
The Jazz are home tonight. They play the Charlotte Hornets at 7 p.m. That's sports. Weather, very nice today. We could get almost up to 60, so all that snow that's still lingering on your yard probably will be gone by the time you get home from work. And traffic, let's see what we've got there. Crash northbound Redwood Road at North Temple. The two right lanes are blocked and traffic is backing to I-80 westbound. We've got a crash northbound I-15 52nd south off to the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 33rd south. And westbound I-80 32nd west. That's traffic.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Stick to the space and to the electric cars, Elon. Elon Musk has released a rap song.
Oh, jeez.
He has not forgotten about Harambe.
The gorilla?
Yeah. The CEO of Tesla dropped a surprise song called Rest in Peace, Harambe,
What's wrong with him?
on SoundCloud. It's about 2 minutes long. Did you find it?
I've got a segment of it
Yeah.
here.
Listen to this.
All right, here we go.
It's under the name Emoji.
Sipping on some bomb, baby, we on the way to heaven. Amen, amen. All we ever do, thinking about you. We back at the zoo, man. Thinking about you,
It's,
man. When my girl is there, we miss you.
so
We really miss
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's enough. Oh, that's Carrie, stop.
It's just,
There's
Stop.
2 minutes of that.
yeah, 2 minutes of that.
Stop. Jeez.
Elon Musk.
I guess because he can?
Because he
That's-
can. Exactly.
He didn't say much about the song when he announced his debut on Twitter. In a subsequent tweet, however, he wrote, I am disappointed that my record label failed. There's still time. The single, Rest in Peace, Harambe, is just under 2 minutes long. It's virtually all auto-tune, and it does memorialize the gorilla.
I mean, that's nice. I guess
was it an April Fool's joke?
I don't know. Doesn't.
Oh.
It's not very funny.
No.
It just seems like he misses Harambe.
I mean, that's nice
Okay.
and all.
Stick to the space and to the electric cars, Elon.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Number 1. So how many Mexican countries are there? Fox News headline news banner on their Fox and Friends weekend show says Trump cuts the United States aid to 3 Mexican countries. No. No, there's only one Mexican country. That's Mexico. Boner candidate number 2. I was making sure that it was a milkshake, not a malt. A California family catching their DoorDash delivery driver, taking a sip from a milkshake on their doorbell camera. And boner candidate number 3, stick to space and electric cars, Elon.
All right, here we go. This is round 2 of your boners. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. See if it wins here. It's winner of round 2. It's not boner of the day yet. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. We'll take both of the winners and throw them into boner fight at 9:20. That is when you will decide boner of the day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Or call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting April 1st. And vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds. Let's go. Round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the Radio from Hell show is proud to announce a brand new entertainment in downtown Salt Lake City.
That's right. It's the grand opening of Carrie and Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater, where patrons can enjoy the very best in culture and cuisine.
Each month, Bill and I will present a brand new Shakespeare play for your delight.
And with each play, we'll change our dinner theater menu. We begin this weekend with Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Who's there? Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
Line. He!
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
And with immortal lines like that from the Bard, you get your choice of Hamlet Hawaiian-style ham, a juicy ham steak with a pineapple ring, or the Polonius chicken pot pie.
And what's even more fun, not only will Bill and I play most of the parts, but we'll be your waiters.
In coming months, you'll delight to other great Shakespearean masterpieces.
Like The Taming of the Shrew, with me as Petruchio and Bill as Catherine the Shrew.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find it where it lies.
Who knows where a wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What? With my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate, I am a gentleman.
It's Carrie and Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater in the old Felt Electric building in the Regent Street alley off 2nd South.
And look in your Happenings coupon book for a 2-for-1 coupon, good on Wednesdays and Thursdays at Carrie and Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater. Your dinners are full price, but one of you will get to sit through the play twice.
Get thee hence to Carrie and Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater, where you give us the dough and we put on the show.
Red and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, before we award the boner, Got to tell you about this.
I am really looking forward to this. This is coming up on Friday, this Friday, April 5th, from 6 to 9. It's part of the Gallery Stroll, Salt Lake Gallery Stroll. Mark Twite, Photographs and Gallery Reception. That's down on 3rd West, 972 South 3rd West. Mark Twite, mountain climber. He was a professional climber for many years. The Alps, Himalayas, Alaska, Canadian Rockies, all of that. And then he came to Salt Lake and opened up a gym. Remember that gym where they trained people for the Zack Snyder movie 300?
And Superman trained there?
They trained Jason Momoa, Aquaman. They trained people for Man of Steel. They trained the Wonder Woman. They trained her.
Gal Gadot.
Well, Friday's gallery reception will include a multimedia story presentation from Mark Twite starting at 7 p.m. It's based on this book, and I've got a copy of the book here that he's put together about his adventures and his career. He's always taken photographs of his adventures, documented his travel with a camera and a pen, and it's really, the pictures are beautiful. It's Mark
Yes,
Twite.
I was just looking at the beautiful pictures of Jason Momoa.
Isn't he? Free parking and food provided by Shut Up Eat.
So wait, go back. This is a free event.
Yes, it is. It's this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. It's at the Mark Twite well, it's at their gym essentially, and part of it's now they've used it like a gallery and everything. You can find out more if you go to this website, Mark Twite. That's TWIGHT. MarkTwite.commonprofit.media.
Okay.
Okay.
And Mark will be here about 9:30.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him if he remembers when he dissed us.
He dissed us?
He did.
I don't remember it, did he?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
It was either him or his partner.
All right.
Yep.
Let's award round 2 of your boners.
Round 2 brought to you in part by some Numinos and ice cream.
I thought you didn't have ice cream.
Well, it wasn't ice cream. It was gelato.
Oh, okay.
But it was purchased later.
Okay. And Del Taco, they are the Fresh Fave box meals, unbeatable price of $4, $5, or $6. These boxes are brand new, and we want to give you some free ones. Get details at x96.com.
So number 1 was, well, how many Mexican countries are there? This is Fox News putting up a banner or one of those Chiron headlines on their Fox News, Fox Friends Weekend. And it says, Trump cuts U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries. No, these are...
There's one Mexican country.
Just one Mexican country.
Mexico.
There's Mexico. There are Central American countries. There are South American countries. Well, they're all brown people, aren't they? And then there's boner candidate number 2. I was making sure that it was a milkshake, not a malt. Family catching their delivery driver, their DoorDash delivery driver, on their doorbell cam. So they saw him taking a sip from a milkshake before he delivered it to them. And boner candidate number 3, Elon, just stick to space and electric cars. Don't go releasing songs about Harambe the gorilla. Shelley won some Del Taco. And the winner, boner candidate number 1, how many Mexican countries are there?
All right, that's a good one. This is going to be a good boner fight coming up at 9:20. The winners of both rounds will be thrown in, and you will decide boner of the day at that time, 9:20 this morning. All right.
Geek News on the Radio brought to you by serving the meek to the geek, and yes, even the freak in your life since 1982. It's Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right, brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. New episode is, well, there's a lot happening on it. Jimmy interviews the stars of Shazam.
Oh.
So Zachary Levi and Mark Strong and the kids.
Coming to
FanX. And movie opens this weekend. Going to be a big star. We review Shazam and Dumbo. And let's see, we also talk about Batman's 80th anniversary in the new episode. I've got your homework, as I always do. Like to give you something to look at while you're at work today, because I know you don't work at work. You sit and you watch videos. So we have some trailers that are available now. Let's see. We've got yet another one of those Annabelle movies, Conjuring movies.
Oh, based on actual events.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
That's what they say.
Well, they actually placed a doll in front of a camera.
Yes.
Yes, they did. That's how
Everything you see in here is either haunted, cursed or has been used in some kind of ritualistic practice. Nothing's a toy. It's safer for these things to be in here than out there.
So the
Sometimes
Warrens
it's better to
have
keep the genie
opened
in the
up a
bottle.
museum of demonology and witchcraft.
We gotta
So
make
they-
money.
Don't
They
your
take-
parents keep any creepy stuff around?
And keep it all locked away in a room
Yeah.
so that we're safe.
So they take all these haunted artifacts and leave them in a room. And the Annabelle doll, locked in a case, sitting on a chair, with a sign that says, "Absolutely, positively, do not open."
So then what happens?
Who opens it?
Ah, the weird little girl from across the street comes
Yeah.
over. And yeah,
How'd
she
you do to get in there?
she made the mistake of opening
Don't
the case.
open
And there we go. It's all over.
Why didn't they just burn the doll? And why are they keeping these
know.
things?
I didn't see them. So maybe they did try to burn the doll. I don't know. Now I have to watch
Now
the
you gotta
movies to
watch
find
it.
out. Way to go, Gina. All right, but anyway, so it's kind of fun to watch. It's got a lot of nice, scary stuff, you know, jump scares.
I let her out. Who? Annabelle. I'm sorry. What else did you touch? Everything.
Everything. She touched everything. The haunted piano. She touched everything.
I think you have to
So there you go. So watch that. That's something fun. No, I got another scary one for you to watch today. Guillermo del Toro. He is, I think, just producing this. Scary movies, or no, scary stories to tell in the dark. It's a book series.
This town has told stories about me. Horrible stories. But they don't realize I have scary stories of my own.
Sarah Bellows.
So this book series, Guillermo has always loved these books as a teenager, and he
Okay.
says he never quite recovered from the frightening tales. He collected the books. He told the stories to his kids. He even made what he calls a bad financial decision because of his devotion to the series.
Really?
Stories write themselves, and it all comes alive.
You don't read the book. The book reads you.
So what happened was around 1997, Del Toro was overcoming the traumatic kidnapping of his father.
Wait, is that real?
This is real. His
I
father.
can't tell what's the story now.
His father was taken off the streets of Guadalajara, held for $1 million ransom. But Guillermo's friend James Cameron came up with the money.
Wait, this isn't real.
This really happened.
Really?
In the aftermath, Del Toro was in a poor financial shape, obviously, but he couldn't resist picking up a piece of Scary Stories history. After having a meeting at New Line, he discovered an art gallery selling original art from the book series.
Okay.
He says, I was really, really broke, but I was extravagant, and I bought the key illustrations from the book that I love, which led to a lot of financial trouble after that, and marital trouble after that. You can't justify a buy like that, but I needed to have those key images because they affected my youth so profoundly.
Huh.
So anyway, he got the rights to these books, and he's put them out there. He says it's not an anthology movie. It's a cohesive 2-hour feature with one story where everything is weaved together to be a part of the story. It's set in 1968 America, and
That's probably really cool.
And he also said, I'm keeping the movie rated PG-13, not R.
Because it's a kid thing.
Because he wanted it to be scary, but he also wanted it to reflect the book's series' legacy of being favorites to young readers. It says it has a throwback, wholesome feeling to it, but it's also scary.
Katie's excited. She's jumping up and down.
So that opens August 9th. And if you go watch the trailer, you will see what he is talking about. Another thing to look at I got for you here.
Well, I'm not going to get any work done today.
I know, right? This is a new game. It's Iron Man VR, virtual reality.
Morning, sir. Our travel time to Shanghai is 11 hours, 15 minutes.
Told you we should have taken the faster flight.
I think the board prefers you wear a more conventional suit to these company meetings.
You can't outrun your past.
So this is a VR game where you are Tony Stark.
Negative, sir.
You see everything from his point of view. So that means...
Don't you think?
when you put on the Iron Man costume.
See all the readouts.
You see the readouts. Yeah. So this is all. If you go to marvelsironmanvr.com, you can see all of it.
Inbound, 10 o'clock. So much for a hero's welcome.
It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And it's going to be available sometime this year. So if you've always wanted to be Iron Man, this is your opportunity. So there you go. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think I may even invest in a game system so that I can play that. I don't have a PlayStation. All right. There's some stuff for you to look at work today.
Crash, Redwood Road northbound at North Temple. The two right lanes are blocked and traffic backing to I-80 west. Left turn only available to you there. Crash northbound I-15 52nd south in Salt Lake. Right shoulder affected there. That's about it, though. Things are moving fairly slowly because I think we're on week 4 of spring break for some people. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's see. We will take a break. We do have a boner fight coming up to determine who is boner of the day. That's on the way. Mark Twite will be here as well to talk about his gallery and all that stuff.
Yeah, these adventures he's been on, and that book is beautiful. All the pictures he took.
Right now we got to tell you about Big O Tires.
Big O Tires, I go to the one on 2nd East South Temple. Always do a terrific job, and they're fast too. I like to go in there and just use the Wi-Fi, and I'll always wait for them to get my car.
I had low tire pressure in my tires, and I pulled up there, and someone came out to the car, and I said, well, what do you need? I'm like, I just think my tires need to be filled up. And they said, don't get out. We'll just do it. They did it right there in the driveway.
So Big O is having a spring tire sale right now. It's the Spring Super Sale. This week only, now through April 7th, you can get up to $120 off Big O brand tires, which I like those a lot. And now through April 21st, you can buy 3, get 1 free on Aspen Touring AS or Mesa AP2 tires. Big O, the team you trust, has the lowest price on every tire every day, and they have all the major brands. If you don't want to buy the Big O brand, you can buy BF Goodrich or the Mesa or Michelin. They've got what you need there.
The Big O brand is a good tire, though.
I like it a lot. So Big O, more than just tires too. They've got they'll do brakes, shocks, struts, wheels, batteries, all of that stuff. Wipers, maybe your windshield wipers. Just run in there and get windshield wipers. Big O tires. No credit needed. Financing options available. Locally owned and operated. Go to bigotires.com for more.
Festus came home last night. He's like, Mom, this is an exciting day.
Mom.
I said, what? He's like, I got my first rider. Rider is...
That's a backstage conditions.
What things you want backstage, like...
No brown M&Ms!
Yeah, like Mariah Carey has to have, peach-colored roses in her room. And I said, so what did you ask for? And he said, Red Bull. I said, that's it? That's all you asked for?
I told you can't have Red Bull.
I said, you don't even drink Red Bull. He's like, well, I didn't know what to ask for. I'm like, you can ask for... He thought that's what you're supposed to ask for.
Gina, that's what he told you he asked for. What he asked for was, I'd like an e-cigarette, some e-cigarettes, and some weed, and a lot of vodka.
But I thought it'd be a fun expo sometime to do. What would you put in your rider? What would
my backstage rider?
Yeah, like I have to have all white towels with scented rose water. I mean, those are the kind of things people ask for. Why what?
Why would you put all white towels with scented rose water?
Those are the kind of things people ask for.
Yeah, but why?
Because
you can.
I wouldn't.
Of course you would.
I would put, I don't think I would just say I would like it to be clean and orderly and maybe a fruit tray.
But maybe we do that for an expo, see what people would want for their backstage.
The guy who has to have it stapled precisely in the top left corner on an angle and not flat would really think that he would just want things in an orderly way.
Richie, are Are the pages ever stapled correctly? No. And when was the last time I ever said anything about it?
Okay.
When was the last time I ever said anything about how they were stapled?
No, but here's the point.
I once commented...
You like things a certain way.
Well,
so
sure.
if you have a writer, you would say, I like things stapled this way. You'd spell it all out.
So entertain it. Has fun with it.
Because when he's doing the news live on stage, he will need it prepared backstage for it.
Yeah.
It's got to be done a certain way.
I give up. I would not do it. I've given up on that sort of thing.
I agree.
I've given up on that sort of thing because I know that the people who work behind the scenes are mostly clods. Take that how you will.
You might bump into Carrie, Bill, or Gina at the grocery store. So if that happens, hey, ask for a selfie with them.
Well, you'll have to excuse me because I have to use the bathroom.
IDs 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
Best thing all weekend.
Oh.
Carrie, I know your wife is worried about the border closing.
Huh? Where? Down at
The southern
Nevada,
border.
Utah?
The southern border closing.
Nevada and Utah?
Because she didn't mention it to me.
No, you said this earlier. And I just saw this story in my beloved British press. If Trump shuts down the U.S.-Mexico border, we only have a 3-week supply of avocados.
I know.
Only 3 weeks.
Only 3 weeks.
I just retweeted from our friend living at the border, Raul Montemayor, a news story about...
lives in Texas, doesn't he?
Yeah. Apparently, what we're being told by the government is not correct.
That's what I've been trying to say all along. It's causing psychosis.
No, Alex, not that.
It gets caused.
No.
No, they're trying to make it seem like it's worse than it is. They're creating bottlenecks and releasing people all at once, and to make it look like a crisis, and it's not.
I know.
So
100% of our avocados
come from Mexico.
100%?
The Mexico.
Huh, I didn't know that.
It says virtually 100%.
Virtually
100%. We get a few from California, I think. But
I've got an avocado plant in my basement. It doesn't produce a lot.
Do well.
Does not do well. Doesn't produce a lot. I look at the obituaries mostly on the weekends, and I just wanted to note the passing of a radio person. It was in the Salt Lake Tribune, small obituary. Do you remember this name at all?
Okay.
From radio. I know some people will. Florian J. Weinreiter.
Yes.
You remember that name?
Yes.
Old-time KSL guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was just a small obituary notice for Florian Weinreiter over the weekend. He was 94.
He was like a news guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did a lot of news. He died in St. George. His radio career began as an announcer at KUTA. While he was a senior at Granite High School in 1943, he retired from KSL in 1986. During those 43 years, his caring voice was heard by listeners to KDYL and to call as well. His career included several years as a disc jockey and the last 25 years as a newscaster. Florian, but I just remember that name.
you don't run into very many
No.
Florians.
No. And they called him, most people called him Flo, as I recall. And
Sounds like your dad might have known him.
I'm sure he did.
Dad's been listening a lot this morning.
Text him and see if he knew that.
Dad, did you know Florian?
Florian, I just remember, and that's the news with Florian J. Weinreiter.
I want to say I heard him on Call or KDYL.
He was on both of those and on KSL for a long time. And it just happened to notice it in passing. And a name that I remembered from radio. I wonder if we'll get that much.
St. George, huh?
He was, that's where he retired.
Which means he could afford to retire. Pretty admirable.
Well, he saved his money.
What is this retirement you speak of?
Oh, I know what it is, and I know I want to do it. I just
Carrie,
can't.
your life will not be that much different when you retire.
I can't afford to do it.
I know,
is
but
what I'm saying.
But you're relaxed.
You'll do the same thing.
I'll do the same thing.
You just won't come here. But other than that,
well, I'll actually be able to get a little bit more done at home. I'll be able to get all my toys taken care of and my comic books. And
see, and I have to figure out another way to perform. That's why I figure that working at the Maverick,
you can perform at the Maverick.
Sure, it's just a smaller audience. But
are you going to be the jokey cashier?
Yeah, of course.
Like for everybody that comes in,
they eliminated the door greeter at Walmart. So
yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
No, you're going to be the jokey Maverick. There's just exchange of money.
I know how to put on a show for everybody.
Comment on what they're buying.
You've seen me out there.
Yes, I know.
You've seen me do it. I can't help it. Every single encounter is an audience, as far as I'm concerned.
Whether they want to be or not.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, if I'm pretty good at determining it, if they're having none of it, I don't push it.
Forced entertainment is the worst.
But it always makes me feel good when I realize that I've entertained someone at a certain time that they just weren't expecting to be entertained by anything.
I just thought I was going to get a Bahama Mama.
But no, I got a little show.
Mama and a show.
So it's just a smaller audience, that's all.
All right. Okay, then we will take a break. We'll be back. Boner fights, a reasonable amount of news, all of that on the way. Everest Collision Repair.
You put on a show for them when you drop your car off?
Well, I've got to leave my car
That's right.
there. My RAV4 got crunched into the garage, and but Everest will have it for a few days, and it will look just like new. So if you've been in a car accident, you can rely on Everest to take care of it, to make it look like new, and they work with your insurance company. I think that she asked me who's your insurance, and I told her, she said, "Oh, yeah, we work with them all the time. We can take care of it. It's fine. They'll get me a rental car." Everest Collision Repair wants to give back to the local community as well. So when you take your damaged car there and you bring in a donation for the Utah Food Bank or the Road Home, Everest Collision Repair will pay up to $200 of your repairs. So that's good. You can download the Everest Collision app on iTunes or Google. And then if you get into an accident, you just upload your information there. Makes the whole thing faster and easier. There are 3 locations of Everest Collision Repair: Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele. You can go to everestcollisionrepair.com.
A major breakthrough with Gina this weekend when we were in L.A. I got her drunk 3 times.
He did.
And it wasn't hard.
It cost him a total of $10 for all 3 times.
Each time. It's a cheap drunk.
Well, see, this is a little secret. You don't take a girl to dinner and then drinks. You always take her to drinks first.
Sure.
Because she's drinking on an empty stomach.
Yes, she is.
Now, you tell me what you remember, and I'll fill in the holes.
Well, I remember...
Because there were some things that she said that she doesn't remember.
I think you're making stuff up to make me think I was drunker than you think I am.
I'm not making anything up. I don't need to.
To make you thinker than I drunk I am.
Yeah.
So the first night we were there, Bill was with his family doing family stuff. So Carrie...
Every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carrie was babysitting me.
Because Gina has to have somebody babysit.
I was all alone.
Usually it's both of us, Carrie and I. And when it's Carrie and it's me babysitting Gina, it's like those old cartoons with the little devil on one shoulder and the good angel on the other shoulder. Carrie, of course, being the little devil.
Carrie's been trying to get me drunk for years.
Well, I begged you to start drinking.
Yeah.
And I
wasn't doing it on my own.
And I always say, no, you don't have to.
It's okay. So we go to Trader Vic's, which is in the hotel. It's
connected to.
It's an old hotel, so there's no straight route to get to Trader Vic's. You have to wind through hallways and...
Because they never do things like that in new buildings.
No, well, it just...
Sure been around a lot, haven't you?
It was a circuitous route to get there.
Sure.
And we sit down, and Ben, the bartender, brings over the menu. And this is the menu of the drinks, not the menu of the food.
Trader Vic's, famous for its big frou-frou.
Fruity drinks. Drinks served in coconuts with parasols and giant chunks of, watermelon and pineapple.
You can buy Trader Vic's syrups and things for drinks.
And I said, well, I'd like a margarita because that's whenever I do actually have a mixed drink, that's the one I have. And I said, do you think I can get one?
She doesn't have a real margarita. She has a snow cone, essentially.
Yeah, because a real margarita is not blended.
No.
So I said, well, I'd like that. And Carrie said, well, I'm sure he can make you that. And I said, no, I'm here. I'm going to order something off the
You
menu.
go, girl.
So
Empowerment.
So she ordered, what was it? I don't remember what it was called. Some kind of rum punch thing.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't know that?
I don't remember what it was called. Okay. It was in a tall glass. It was red. It looked like Hawaiian punch.
Had umbrellas and
had a
fruit
chunk
and
of pineapple and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I had one.
Yeah.
And this is before the food. And then Carrie ordered another, and he made me get another. And that was it.
That was it. She was gone.
Where did she go?
Empty stomach, drink and a half. She was in outer space.
I was giggling, and I kept leaning on you, I think.
You did.
Did I touch you a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you told me after the fact that I was saying
I want you to
things.
tell me what you remember. Then I will fill in the holes. What do you remember after that?
I remember I ordered a steak.
Uh-huh.
And
you like the steak.
The
You
steak
ate
was
ate it
good.
all.
Yeah. And lettuce wraps. I had some lettuce wraps.
She was proud of the fact that she had a lettuce wrap.
Yeah.
And this is all after one drink.
Yeah.
I had a fortune cookie with a misspelling on it.
Oh, did you save that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I have that. That's all I remember, really.
You remember going back to the room?
Did you guys go back to the same room?
Or did you just wake up in your room?
No, I went back there somehow.
You went back to your room and then you watched Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that's what I did.
That's what you do remember.
Because it was on HBO. Although I always have to turn it off when the white man comes, because that's when it gets sad.
I always have to turn it, which implies, of course, that she
She's seen it
watches
more
it
than once.
over and over and over again.
Okay.
So that's what I remember.
That's what you remember. Okay.
What is she leaving out?
877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Well, remember that info. You're going to need it here in about 6 or 7 minutes for Boner Fight. That's when Boner of the Day will be decided by you. 2 candidates to choose from. Before that, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by
Complexion's contemporary ballet transcend tradition in a mix of styles ranging from ballet to hip-hop in their exhilarating performance of the life and music of David Bowie. April 5th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
Well, to those who knew him, Nipsey Hussle was a pillar of the community in South LA. He once gave a pair of shoes to every student at an elementary school in Hyde Park, where he owned a burger joint, a fish market, and a barbershop. He helped fund upgrades to the campus playground, offered jobs to his neighbors, his struggling neighbors. If somebody lost a loved one to gun violence, he would sometimes chip in and help pay for the funeral. Those roles were reversed Sunday when Grammy-nominated rapper was gunned down outside one of his shops, the Marathon Clothing Store. This is Nipsey Hussle.
I'm turned up because I grew up in this. It's caution till you rap trying to diss me.
He was 33 years old. He did a lot for the neighborhood, said Hyde Park resident Glenn Taylor. That's why I'm here today. This has to stop. Taylor was among hundreds of fans and friends who poured into the street to pay their respects as the sun fell. Some blasted Hussle's music from their car stereos. Others left blue and white candles from a nearby liquor store. He was revered in that neighborhood. They don't know who did this, who shot him down. I mean, they say it's apparently a gang hit, but they're not quite sure why. He didn't seem to be involved with any criminal activities.
Sounds like he was doing good stuff.
E-Rock from U92 was speaking very highly of him, said that when he started out, he brought his music to the radio station personally. And he said, here, if you ever want to talk or need anything, here is my phone number. And, they kept in touch.
And when he was a kid, he was in a street gang, and he did. He said, I did bad things, but I've changed. I've changed all that. And
that's too bad.
The Rolling Stones have postponed their forthcoming No Filter North American tour because doctors told Mick Jagger, you aren't going anywhere.
They're being very vague,
Yes,
though.
they are.
They're not saying what's the matter.
They say he needs treatment for
something,
an unspecified medical condition.
But I think it's interesting because they've canceled the tour. It's not just like putting a few dates on hold. They're like, yeah, you shouldn't do any of this.
Mick says, I hate having to postpone the tour, but I'm looking forward to getting back on stage as soon as I can. He's 75 years old. He said, they're just not saying.
I love this song. It's a polarizing Stone song.
It is.
But I love it. Because I like riding across the desert on a fine Arab charger.
Coming to your emotional rescue.
Over you!
I just was looking through the L.A. Times this morning. It's a very odd article. As anti-fur sentiment grows, California's oldest trappers are calling it quits.
Wait a minute, there are
yes,
still...
yes,
Doggone it, they can't
yes.
keep up.
There are still...
After a lifetime spent trapping animals in California's western Sierra Nevadas, Tim Wan traveled to Oregon recently to make one big final sale at the annual Klamath Falls Fur Auction.
What am I going to do with all these pelts?
Well, unlike his fellow woodsman, he wasn't hawking luxurious pelts of wolves, bobcats, otters, coyotes, foxes, and muskrat. Instead, the 75-year-old trapper is selling off his traps and fur stretchers. I got no use for them. Trapping's dead in California.
Just now?
Yeah.
Just now.
He hoped to sell the heavy rust-flecked devices for $2 each, while commercial trapping was once a very noble trade that opened the San Francisco Bay Area to international commerce, even before the gold rush. Its heyday has long passed. There's one quote in here that's just hilarious. He says, I've been on the front lines of battle of trapping for years, and there just ain't nothing left of it. He says, I got no more use for any of this stuff. I'm going to sell it all.
I hope my mule finds a good home.
Yeah, and it's apparently there's still a there is still fur trapping business. People are still doing it, but in California, no, it's all gone. Yeah. He said, trapping is in big trouble. I was run out of it. The places I used to trap, they're now covered with homes and tough laws. I don't like it one bit.
Dadgummit.
Let's see.
That's funny. One more.
I don't want to do that story. That's too depressing. How about Denali, the mountain in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It used to be. So it's called Denali by the natives, peoples who lived there, and then somewhere along the line, somebody said, "Let's name it after a white president that nobody liked. Let's call it Mount McKinley."
No, it's Denali.
And they named it Mount McKinley, and it's saved that name for a long time. But they changed it back to Denali. But USA Today reports that Alaska's Denali, the tallest mountain in North America, harbors tons of frozen human waste left behind by decades worth of hikers. Now, thanks to our ever-warming planet, the glacier holding much of that waste is expected to start melting, potentially creating a fun river of poop surfacing further down the mountain. Scientists expect this melt to happen in the next few decades, but some speculate it could start as soon as this summer. Apparently, hikers have been aware of Denali's impending poop problem for some time now. The poop's been amassing ever since the 70s, and not all of it is even frozen. Last year, a hiker said that he was in a campsite that smelled like a cat box.
Ooh.
But now they started to regulate it. They had to do the same thing at Yosemite. You know, when you were climbing El Capitan and that.
Carry it out?
Yeah, people used to just dump it over the down.
Yeah.
And now you have to carry a poop bag, and you have to.
I don't want to do anything that I have to carry a poop bag.
Well, and Gina, I'm sorry, but one of these days, you will have people to carry it for you. I'm
Question:
sure.
Do you walk your dog?
Oh, well, yeah.
You carry a poop bag.
I mean,
human.
My own poop.
Okay.
Well. I can't. I see people doing that, and I'm glad they do pick up after their dogs.
Oh, I do. She's got
I'm sure you do, but
on her leash is a little dispenser.
Right. I was just going to say, though, it just looks to me to not be a very pleasant thing to have to do.
It's not.
It's not.
It's horrible.
I don't.
Because it's all warm, and even though you've got the bag on your hand, it's still just. Yeah. No, it's.
I wouldn't want to do that. So another reason not to have a dog.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
Okay, here goes. The winner from round 1 taking on the winner from round 2. Both pretty good. Number 1, you remember back in the 7 o'clock hour? It's Alex Jones. That's right. He says, I was calling that Sandy Hook. I called it, it was a hoax. Sandy Hook, all those little kids that were they said were killed. Nah, they were actors. Well, now that the parents of the Sandy Hook victims have been suing Alex Jones, he's scrambling to find a way out of it. Now he's saying, listen, when I was saying all that stuff, it was because of a psychosis caused by the government. The government led me to be psychotic. And I didn't trust the government, and that's why I felt that way. Now I know, yes, I believe that there were people killed at Sandy Hook. But at the time when I was saying that, I really believed that there weren't any people killed. It was a government-caused psychosis.
But Alex, a few months ago, you said that this was just a character that you play.
Never mind. Never mind that I said that. So that's number one. Going against number two, how many Mexican countries are there? This is Fox News running a banner during the Fox and Friends weekend show in response to Donald Trump cutting aid to Guatemala, Honduras, and one other Central American country. They run a banner that says, Trump cuts U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries. That's boner candidate number 2.
All right. You've got to decide. Lord knows both of these deserve to be boner of the day, but only one can be. You've got to decide. 1 or 2, excuse me. You decide which candidate should win. Put that number of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. That single digit is all we need, 1 or 2. Text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online. X96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight April 1, 2019 and vote there. And if you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. 300 seconds to do it. This is Boner of the Day.
I was at a business. I'll tell you, I was at a business called Total Health and Fitness, who I believe we're going to be doing some commercials for. So I'm out there talking to the folks and everything, and I get done with my business at Total Health and Fitness, which is in Draper on 123rd South, and I'm just about to leave the building where Total Health and Fitness is located.
Okay.
And a woman walks in and walks up to the desk and says to the lovely receptionist at Total Health and Fitness, "Hi, is this Total Health and Fitness?" To which the receptionist, being a nicer person than I am, said, "Why, yes, it is." And that the woman said, "Oh, okay, good. I'd really like to apply for a job." Now, if it had been me as the receptionist, when she walked in and said,
"Yeah,
is this Total Health and Fitness?" And I probably would have been nice to a point and said, "Yes." And when she said, "Oh, good, I'd like to apply for a job," I would have said, "Don't bother."
Exactly.
Because you apparently can't read the signs all over the building. You didn't read the big sign over the door before you walked in. You didn't see the sign on 123rd South, blazing across the building, Total Health and Fitness. You didn't see that anywhere. I'd just as soon you not apply for a job. Thank you. Goodbye.
You think she was being ironic? Because the
No.
signs were everywhere?
No.
No. No. No. No. The receptionist did say she's way nicer than I am, but it was probably true. I don't think she was just trying to be nice. She said, "Well, we're not hiring right now." I would have just said, "Don't bother." God. Oh, shit. I'm just sitting there looking at this going, really? Really? I'm not a nice person, though.
No, you're not.
No.
from Hell on X96 with Geek News specialist Carrie Jackson.
All right, time to award Boner of the Day.
And that's brought to you in part by some chicken and potatoes and green beans.
And X96 loves Del Taco. They have the new Fresh Fave box meals at the unbeatable price of $4, $5, or $6. They're brand new, and they want to feed your family with them. Go to x96.com to learn more.
So it was pretty close as to who was the worst. Was it Alex Jones?
It's always Alex
who's
Jones.
being sued for his false Sandy Hook hoax claims, and now he's saying, well, at the time I believed that was true. And I believed that because it was a kind of a psychosis. The government caused me to have this psychosis. Okay, Alex, fine. Going up against number 2, how many Mexican countries are there? Fox News. Fox News running a banner that says Trump cuts U.S. aid to 3 Mexican countries. There's only one Mexican country. That's Mexico.
Yeah. It's all Mexico south of our border.
Well,
all of it.
They're all brown down there. So Stephanie won some Del Taco gift certificates, and the winner is Alex Jones.
Oh.
InfoWars.
And that's your Boner of the Day for April 1, 2019. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That'll be decided on Friday at about this time.
And, Friday is, I'm gonna be doing this. This Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., Mark Twight, Photographs and Gallery Reception. And this is down on 3rd West, 972 South 3rd West. It's like right next to the Big O Tires, isn't it?
It is, indeed.
Yeah, this is Mark Twight. And Mark has lived a life of adventure.
And I'm in recovery.
Yeah. Are you? You're recovering from the adventure?
I don't know. It's a joke I like to play.
And so this book that Amy let me borrow, it's called, what's it called again?
The book is titled Refuge,
mm-hmm.
And the subtitle is Effort, Environment, and Emotion.
So your adventures throughout the mountaineering, climbing specifically, but other adventures and things that you've done, you've always taken pictures. And I noticed you have a camera with you right this minute. You always do that?
I do. Yeah.
Well, Radio from Hell's an adventure.
Yeah, exactly. I figured I might not survive, so I better at least document it in some way.
So where did Mark Twight, where did you begin? Where did you start all of this?
The caricature that is Mark Twight, or
yeah,
the real?
Or the real Mark Twight? Because there are both.
There are, people think they have the idea nailed down. I was actually born in Yosemite National Park. My dad was a park ranger. In the park, in the clinic. And lived there for 2 years, Mount Rainier National Park for 3 years, and then Seattle. So I like to say that I was raised in the Pacific Northwest. It's easier.
And it was so it's in your blood to have adventure, being born in Yosemite. I can see that happening.
I think I got a taste for it there, mm-hmm. but the way it manifested was. So my dad wasn't the type of ranger. He did have the Smokey the Bear hat, but he wasn't the type of ranger that took you on a nature walk. He was a federal cop.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
you have to be at Yosemite. They need cops there.
Especially at the time, that close to the Bay Area, there was quite a, biker gang getaways in Yosemite was kind of a deal. At least what the Rangers like to talk it up like that. But I had the taste for the mountains, but then also the taste for rebellion against authority.
So you went off and climbed lots of mountains and did all the big ones. You've been to all of them.
I've seen many of the big ones
and been on them and
yes,
and you and that was part of your career. But then you got involved in body training, I guess. And it's not bodybuilding; it's training people
for a particular outcome.
How did that happen? Yeah.
So part of one of the reasons or one of the ways that I would earn money as a climber was to give these multimedia presentations to promote sponsors and also get a piece of the door whenever I gave one of those. And at one of those shows, I met a guy named Kurt Johnstad, and he was Zack Snyder's writing partner. And they worked on a lot of scripts together, but at that time they were shooting TV commercials. Mm-hmm. So the very first thing I did was a commercial for a brand of beer. Mm-hmm. They wanted some ice climbing ahead of some Winter Olympic kind of thing.
I see. So you were the climber in the commercial.
Yeah. So it started out like that, and then developed a relationship with Zach. And so every time they needed they wanted to fly a car to a top of a mountain and drive it around or something, I and some of my team would get hired to do mountain safety.
So that's kind of a cool job. But then you get involved in training people, and you had a gym. Do you still have a gym here in Salt Lake?
I don't currently, but so when I started a place called Jim Jones, and first time of operation was sort of December 2003, and Zack Snyder, who had been tapped to do the original 300 movie, knew what we were doing, and this would have been a couple years later, 2005, and he said, "Hey, I got something that I need your skills for. I know you're probably not interested, but do you know someone who does what you do?"
Okay.
And I said,
no, just me. Just me, Mark Twight.
And then
I'll do it for you.
My wife at the time, Lisa, she basically said, "Hey, you better take that job with Zack, or I'm going to change the locks." And so I was basically coerced.
And you trained and got these people looking like really buff for the 300.
Spartan-like.
Spartan-like.
I mean, if the costume is going to be leather underpants and a red cape,
yeah,
you don't want to be remembered as the Spartan with the muffin top.
And you no. And you guys had a reputation. You were very exclusive at Jim Jones.
Yes.
You kept, and so part of the reason you needed to keep things quiet is because you would have
we did very little of the training here because you go when you're working on a big movie like that, you go where the tax credits are the best, where people. So we started in L.A. I was there for sort of 2.5 months off and on, and then the whole movie and most of the training went down in Montreal.
Oh, I see. So your gym here, Jim Jones, how did people find it and get to be a part of it? Because you didn't advertise, and I tried to get you to come on the radio show, and you would have nothing to do with that. No, we don't need that, no.
I was anti-commerce at the time. I mean, we didn't even have a store attached to our website, and when that movie finally came out, I think we were hosted at X-Mission, and it went from 2,000 unique visitors a month to over 11 million.
Yeah.
That month that movie came out, and it's like, wow, if I'd sold T-shirts, I'd be retired.
Exactly. I mean, but you saw the marketing
potential eventually, but still, it took a long time to even have any kind of weird tchotchke type items to sell to people. To, allow them to pretend that they were part of it. Yeah. But the gym in the very beginning was private. It was invitation only. If you were invited to train there, the training was free. And that was how I operated it, just for me to go to school. So I had people who were willing to be experimented upon while I conducted, my mad scientist experiments.
Do you still do any of that kind of stuff?
I don't. We have in our space now. We have a gym, and my business partner Michael and his wife Erin, they still train private clients in there, and we have 2 nights a week where there's sort of friends and family kind of get together.
That's down here on 3rd West.
Yes, that is in that building on 3rd West. Yeah, and but also that's where we record our podcast. It's where our creative office is, where we produce the zines and publish this book. Actually,
this book is beautiful. Now, Carrie.
We do have to take a break, but we'll come back and
we do more.
Find out more about the event on Friday and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and a little bit about your philosophy of how all this stuff works together.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. We'll be right back with Mark. We got to do this here. 3, 2, 1. ZeroRes.com is the website.
Yep, it's Earth Month, and our friends at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning are celebrating with eco-friendly spring cleaning for your home. Zero Res is eco-friendly because they don't use chemicals or detergents or anything like that. It is
empowered water.
Yeah,
it's healthier for your house.
It's nice for the environment, and what better way to get your house going this spring than a thorough cleaning from Zero Res? They've been at it for over 10 years here along the Wasatch Front. Zero Res cleans carpets, furniture, even tile floors. So don't you spend days trying to do it yourself. I'm going to have Zero Res come in and clean my children, as a matter of fact. Schedule your cleaning during April Earth Month, and you'll pay just $33 per room cleaned. Minimums do apply, but you have to call for details and for scheduling. You can search for Zero Res Carpet Cleaning online or call this number. 801-2880. That's 288-ZERO, or click ZeroRes.com.
Hello, this is William Shatner, star of Rescue 911. I have friends who are currently suffering the personal agony of hair loss. Through them, I have learned the importance of investing in a high-quality wig or toupee. That is why, if I needed a hairpiece, I would visit
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Hi, we're Carrie and Bill, the Radio from Hell guys, and we're proud to be associated with Worldwide Celebrity Wigs and Toupees. It's the only non-surgical hair replacement center that offers toupees and wigs woven entirely from celebrities' hair.
Worldwide contracts to buy the hair of Hollywood's most hirsute celebrities. Then, when the stars get a haircut or die, Worldwide is on hand to harvest the hair. The hair is then woven into a versatile, lightweight, comfortable wig, personally cut, fit, and styled for you. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
I lost my hair and scalp in an unfortunate encounter with an industrial blender. It was unsightly, and my confidence was at an all-time low. But when Dinah Shore died, Worldwide made me a wig from Dinah's hair. Now I'm so full of confidence, I may just go after Burt Reynolds.
After years of working at the toxic waste dump in Tooele, I began to notice a loss of most of my head and body hair. I gave Worldwide a call. They replaced the hair on my head with a wig made from Randall Carlisle's Golden Locks. And as an added bonus, they threw in a half a pound of Ed Asner's body hair for free. Now I am so confident I may just go after Kimberly Perkins.
This is William Shatner again. Please don't suffer with the torment and embarrassment of hair loss. Just look in the phone book for my friends at
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Please don't delay. Beam yourself up a full head of hair today.
Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
And we're back. We're talking with Mark Twite, who is now there's the event is this Friday. It's part of the gallery stroll from 6 to 9 p.m. At 972 South 300 West. It's right next to the Big O Tire.
It's free.
It's across from Trails, don't you know?
It's Trails.
You got to have your landmarks.
Yeah, across from Trails. Everybody knows where that is. So, Mark, you'll be showing photos from this book.
So there's basically I don't know, somewhere between 17 and 20 large prints from the book. So that'll be the gallery part, and then the reception. I'll do a little spoken word piece starting at 7 o'clock for about 30 minutes, which sort of explains where I came from in terms of. I mean, the premise of the book is that sooner or later every climber has to come down. Yeah. And if it's not good down here, how are you going to survive?
Yeah, and how do you? It must be difficult if you're used to that kind of extreme excitement
and beauty. I mean, and the fact that there's sort of the risk involved, and certainly the way that I played that particular game meant that everything down in the valley appeared trivial until I quit climbing and came down and realized that, mortgage payments are a thing, actually, and that's not so trivial.
Yeah, I saw that movie Free Solo.
Okay.
And watch what's his name, Hornold.
Alex Honnold.
Yeah. Living in his van.
Yeah.
Just so that he can do this, free climb El Capitan.
Yeah, I mean the levels of commitment that people are willing to make for some of these activities are actually pretty remarkable.
And you did a lot of that kind of. You just sort of bummed around climbing mountains.
Never really lived in my car. But I did, I went, I lived full time in the French Alps. I, started going there, realized this is the place for me. And, the first time I went, it was, I was there for 2 months. The next year it was 4 months. And eventually I just stopped on the way home from the Himalayan trip and stayed.
Is that kind of your base of operations now?
No, I mean, I've been here in Salt Lake full time since 2001. I was here for a couple of years in the mid 90s. And since I moved back from France, I was either here or in Boulder in Colorado. But here is better.
So talk a little bit quickly, and then we'll mention the event again, about just kind of the overall philosophy of all of this. This training, this I don't know exactly what I'm trying to ask. Maybe you know. Maybe you know what I'm asking.
I mean, it's the idea for me when I started doing the physical training for people was that I was applying lessons that I learned in the mountains, and essentially this is the ideas of risk. And I think without a certain amount of risk, you can't learn things, and without a certain amount of risk. I mean, when I first started training some guys who competed in MMA, I realized, okay, here's a sport where a lack of physical fitness could get you knocked out. Yeah. So you probably want to pay attention to your physical fitness. Yeah. It's the same thing as the mountains. But then it became quite clear to me that the brain doesn't really understand the difference between financial risk, social risk, actual physical risk. So how you respond to it is going to be the same. And so we would set up these training scenarios where it mattered whether you succeeded or not.
How do you make it matter? That's the key.
By maybe pairing someone with another person, and
you're accountable to them.
You're kind of accountable to them. You put them in a position where they suffer less if you work harder.
This is like a psychological experiment.
I've always, not always, but I realized that my job was actually, especially working in the movie business, my job is exercise psychology, not exercise physiology, because it's really getting people to do the work and to pay attention, while the work itself is not actually the hard part.
The results are amazing too, though. I think you can take somebody who's in just sort of good shape and make them look really good and make them look like they're in really good shape in a fairly short order of time if you know the right way to do it.
If you know the right way, but also it depends on how long they need to maintain that condition for. So for Man of Steel, for example, Henry, who plays Superman, he had to be in the same condition on January 31st of 2012 as he was August 1st, 2011. And so that level of stability required 5 months of training to reach. Another example is someone who's just on, has like a 2-day shirtless scene or a 1-day shirtless scene. you can make a really radical transformation, 4 or 5 weeks,
You
cut
can't
30
really.
or 40. Yeah, but it won't be stable. Like we can get them to look good on the day, capture it on camera, and then afterwards the pendulum is going to have a rocket strapped to it and go the opposite direction.
This is fascinating stuff. Now, if you want to hear more about it, there's a podcast that you can listen to.
We do a weekly podcast, which is called the Dissect Podcast. You can find it on iTunes or our website, which is nonprofit.media, and that's NONPROPHET.
Okay.
Which is kind of a backlash against my old business,
Mhm.
which had been sort of accused of being a religious cult, and we
Jim
we
Jones
just went as far down that road as we could.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Mark Twight. Again, the event is this Friday night at, what do you call it, your gym?
We call it the Nonprofit Event Center.
The Nonprofit Event Center.
Which is we're basically, there's the office space. Our gym is in there. There's parking outside. It's
and there's food, too.
There'll be food, yes.
Provided by, I like...
Shut Up Eat is Erin's business.
I like that.
And she does nutrition consulting and has actually cooked for many of the people that we've trained for these movie roles. And so the food will be tasty.
And so all you have to do is show up, right?
Exactly.
Yep. How hard is that?
Bring an open mind.
Yeah.
And,
this Friday, the 5th, 6 to 9 p.m. It's on 3rd West, 972 South 3rd West, right by the Big O Tires. Nice to meet you. I'm glad we finally got you on the show after all these years.
I apologize for being who I was back then.
No,
All right. Thank you, Mark. Hang on a second. We got to do something here. Let's do the promo. You ready?
Yep. On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show,
Utah Word of the Day is back at 8 a.m.
And it's Tuesday. That means Tuesday Tunes with Todd at 9 a.m.
But as always, there will be plenty of more.
so don't miss Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Is that good enough?
Yep.
We done?
Yep.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
By the sound of it, no.
Corey is next.